So Taekwondo. Taekwondo or Taekwondo, meaning Tai as foot, meaning foot, Kwon as fist or hand, and Do meaning way. Taekwondo is invented by Korean General Choi Hong-hee or Hai. Taekwondo is a Korean martial art, and it is the ability to use legs, or it features legs in the fight for punches and throws. Unlike any other Korean martial arts, no weapons are used in Taekwondo. It is believed that the human body itself is a very dangerous weapon. So, World Taekwondo Federation was established on May 28, 1973. The headquarters of the federation is located in Seoul, Korea. The history of Korean martial arts dates back for more than 2,000 years. Taekwondo is the youngest of them, or the youngest martial arts. And at the beginning of 20th century, Korea was under Japanese rule, and Korean martial arts had to go underground. And after the liberation of Korea from the Japanese occupation in 1945, martial arts began to emerge from the underground. But this period took its toll. Some techniques stood the test of time, but the spiritual and philosophical tradition was lost. There were many gyms, and the number of instructors teaching is different types of martial arts multiplied as well. But few of them seriously know the history of their school and could explain the content part of the Taekwondo tradition. So, 1955 is the official recognition of Taekwondo. Afterward, it began its way to the sports arenas of the whole world. Taekwondo gained incredible popularity around the world in such a short period of time. Athletes who have trained in sparring technique for at least 3 months are allowed to compete, and athletes are divided according to age. The age of competitors is determined by the year of birth, rarely by the date of birth, and weight category. Participants are weighed on the day before the start of the competition, and a participant who was weighed once and didn't pass the weighing for the first time is entitled to another weighing within the official weighing time. And last is gender. So for general Taekwondo tournament rules, the rules start even before the match begins. In official tournament setting, you will have to observe a couple of simple formalities so you do not get disqualified before you throw even your first kick or punch. This includes bowing to both your opponent and to the referee of the match, who is always a black belt or higher and is there to enforce the rules. You must also bow to the 3 judges. Again, they're all black belts, and the judges will decide who will be the winner by using their judgment and experience of strikes and the use of strikes and kicks the athletes have performed or shown. So, as far as the competition itself is concerned, each match is comprised of 3 rounds lasting for 3 minutes each, with 1 minute breaks between each round. So in cases of children up to 14 years old, there are 3 2-minute rounds with a 30-second break. Reduction to 2 rounds is also possible. So the competitor that managed to score the most from these 3 rounds is automatically named the winner. So scoring. Points are scored for an effective attack made with front of fist or foot below ankle. 1 point is scored for an effective attack to the trunk of the body. 2 points are scored for an effective attack to the face. 1 extra point is scored for a knockdown. So we will tackle penalties later on in our presentation. So scoring. Scoring in Taekwondo tournament, as you can probably imagine, is done primarily with kicks, and the fighter's aim is to land as many scoring kicks or punches on his opponent as many as possible during the competition. That being said, each target area on the body will earn a different amount of points, and both kicks and punches have to have force behind them in order to get a point. In other words, it cannot just be a light tap. Also, kick only counts as a point if you hit with your foot. So if the opponent is hit with a shin or knee, you don't get any points for that. So breakdown of tournament points. So hits to the body. This gets you 1 point if you use, say, a straight turning kick or front kick. However, if you hit the body with a spinning kick, for example, a jump back kick, then you get 3 points. Punches which don't carry much weight in Taekwondo tournaments will only get you 1 point. So that's why you can see so many kicks are thrown during the competition or in Taekwondo. Second is hits to the head. This is where the points are really made. If you kick your opponent in the head, like again a turning kick, you get 3 points. But if you hit the head with a spinning hook kick, you'll get an extra point, so that equals to 4 points. Knockdowns is finally if you use a kick or punch that puts your opponent on the floor or the mat, that will get you 3 points. So what do you mean by putting your opponent on the floor? It's if any part of your opponent hits the floor due to your kick or punch. And then 1 point score for the efficient punch or kick into the body. 3 point score, punch or kick into the head. It is permitted to punch and kick the area covered by a protective vest. Punching or kicking the spine is prohibited. It is allowed to hit the front face except for the back of the head. Athletes who will receive 4 penalty points will be disqualified. So, tournament penalties. Penalties in Taekwondo sparring are sometimes unavoidable. There will be times when you unintentionally do something that will cause you to get a warning from the referee, and there is nothing you can do about it. Then there are those more blatant or more purposeful penalties that someone is hit and probably should be in order to keep the integrity and the fun in Taekwondo tournaments. And here I will go over the 2 types of penalties in a Taekwondo tournament and what the penalty is for the infraction. So, warning penalties. The first penalty is called Kyong-go, and it's basically warning where a half point is deducted. Examples of Kyong-go penalties are pretending to be injured, grabbing your opponent, pushing your opponent with your shoulder, body, hands, or arms, stepping outside the boundary lines on purpose, attacking the groin area on purpose. So, point deduction penalties. The second type of penalty is called a gamjom and is much more serious, and therefore 1 full point is taken away. Examples of gamjom penalties are going after an opponent when they are already on the ground, intentionally hitting the back of the head, intentionally going after the face with either the hand or fist, head-butting an opponent, violent or extreme outbursts towards either your opponent or the referee. And if you get a total of 3 or 4 penalty points, you are automatically disqualified from the match and sent home. So tie score. So what about the tie? In cases like this, another way of determining the winner is to take the points that each player scored before any penalty is deducted. The player with the highest number of points wins. And if this too is not an option, the referee will declare the player based on who has shown more willingness to attack during the game.